Happy Sunday. Happy beach day. So this is week 5 of 20, quarter of the way through. It's flying by really fast. So this week, try and do some quick math. Tuesday I had 8 miles, Wednesday 5 and 5, so that's 18. Thursday, what did I say? 18. Thursday another 8, 26. And I think I did 8 on Friday, so that's 34. And then this weekend was 15 and 15, so 64 total miles. Yesterday's run was a workout called tempo run. So my normal output on a run is about 50%, maybe 60% if I'm feeling good. I don't push too hard. I keep a low output so I can sustain it for longer. But a tempo run, the training directions say treat that as if you were running a 10K race. So if my usual input is 60-ish% and a full sprint is 100%, then my tempo pace is about 75%. It's meant to be really tough. It is very tough. I went out pretty hard, and whenever I run really hard, my digestive tract thinks everything else should speed up too, so that causes an issue, and I usually take care of business about 2 miles in, and then I'm okay. But it was also very hot, and with the high output, I was losing lots of fluids, so I was trying to compensate by taking in a bunch of fluids, and that just made me feel like I swallowed a bowling ball. Stomach felt big and heavy, and it was uncomfortable, and I ended up doing 11 miles. I got probably 5 or 6 hard miles in, and then I had to call it a day and just take an easy pace back home. So that was tough. So one of the reasons I'm out here today is because this is going to be one of the last weekends where it's a short distance on Sunday. It's a 15-mile day, and no special training, so just easy 15 miles. But I'm out here. I decided to go barefoot, and hard day yesterday, barefoot today, playing in the water. I went out 5 miles and I'm going back 5 miles. So I'll do 10 miles and then take a nice beach day. So that's how that's going. Pretty well so far, all things considered, even though it was a tough day yesterday. And I haven't looked at the agenda for next week. Well, I did take a quick look, and I did see a 10-mile run during the week. So that'll tell you how the volume is ramping up. So that'll be fun. So yeah, that's where I am with training. They released the new course plan. The race course for the Daytona 100. It's a little different this year. Last year we started, I think it was Neptune Beach or Atlantic Beach. I think Atlantic Beach is what it's called. And then we would run north 1 mile just to get it at 100 miles by the time we finished. And then we would hit A1A all the way down to Daytona, and we would loop around the Ponce Inlet Lighthouse, and the finish line was at the race director's house. I don't know, it was kind of weird. But this year we're starting a little bit further north by like a mile. We're gonna do a quick 3.5 mile loop because when we head down, we're gonna stop right at the lighthouse. The lighthouse is the finish line. So I'm excited about that. That'll be kind of a cool atmosphere. The last couple times, the lighthouse was only, like, you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. After you circled the lighthouse, you still had to go like 3 miles back north up the beach, you know, because of the weird layout they had. I am kind of bummed we're not going to run on the beach anymore, but after the race ends at the lighthouse, maybe I'll go touch the water or something if I'm feeling good. We'll see. And they've established 10 checkpoints provided by the race, and they're all going to be either a mini aid station. Most of the stops in the first 2/3 of the race are mini aid stations, meaning it's only going to be like a bunch of water. I don't know if they'll do snacks at the mini aid stations, and I believe they're going to be better mini aid stations than what the last race director would do. He would just drop a case of water bottles and there would be nobody there. But there's going to be someone in each one of these because they're calling them timing stations. So they'll be checking our times and making sure we're doing okay, and not just leaving a big old bundle of water bottles in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to use those aid stops, and my plan this year, usually I would have all of the aid stops from the race plus another 10-ish of my friends that volunteer. But what I'm going to try and do is bite chunks of the race in those 10-mile increments. In the middle of the night and towards the end of the race, when things slow down, it'll get tough mentally. But I know at the beginning of the race, whenever I have all that energy and it's daylight and warm and feeling good, I'll be able to make those 10-mile chunks, no problem. But the plan is that I'm just going to use those aid stations. And if anybody wants to come anywhere along the way, if you're going to be in St. Augustine and you want to, you know, hand me a Coke or something, or a high five, and encouragement is just as much help as calories. Or if you're anywhere along the way between Jacksonville and Daytona, and if you want to come help with a spot, that's more than welcome. But I'm going to try and do it unaided by a road crew. We're technically supposed to have a road crew, so maybe I'll just line it up to where if you want to help, it can be one out of every few stops. Maybe like one midday, one evening, one late at night, and then we'll see the next day. I don't know. I'll get all that figured out, but main point being, I'm going to try and stop as little as possible, because those are crucial minutes. And while I do need to do periodic check-ins on myself, I don't need to make any unnecessary stops. So I'm excited about that. I made my course plan, my pace plan in Garmin. It lets you chart the course, and it figures in elevation, all that good stuff. And you can give the program a target finish time or a pace that you want to keep, an average pace that you want to keep, and then tell it you want to do positive or negative splits. And what that means is you gradually slow down as the race progresses, or some crazy people actually start slow and speed up as the race progresses. But I've got that charted, and I have my splits all laid out in my spreadsheet, and it looks very doable. It's easy to easy to look at it on paper and say that, but I'm pretty confident in my abilities, and based on experience, I think it'll be a good plan to follow, and I'm looking forward to it. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to running. I brought my whole beach set up, so I've got a bottle of wine and a big apple and cheese and hummus tray. And I'm just gonna chill out for a while, and I'll check in with you guys later.